Back.
Well, we are live. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hola.
Hello, everyone.
Hola.
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 Hola, señorita. ¿Cómo estás?
Hello. Well, I would like that you introduce yourselves first because we have some new faces tonight. Not Patrick and Brad. Brad are already old faces. We met them at previous streamings, but I would like that Joachim and André introduce themselves. Hey
Who
there.
goes first?
Who goes first? You, André. Break the ice, please.
Okay. Nice to meet you, everyone. I'm André. I'm the Brazilian dude here. I just this is my 19th race in G Pro, so I'm absolutely the rookie here, and I am very happy, and I was actually very surprised that Flo invited me to this. I wasn't expecting at all, since I'm so new here. But apparently, that's exactly what she wanted. Some newbie here to show everyone how little he knows about the game. That will be me. Anyway, I'm
Someone
very
with a
happy to be.
different experience is what I meant.
Yeah.
So-
Okay.
Variety, you know?
Yeah. I think it's always good. But I'm very happy to be here, and well, I hope you enjoy.
Well, what about
Welcome,
you?
Andre.
What about you, Joachim?
Yeah, my name is Joachim, and yeah, I'm not so new to the game, but also not a veteran. I don't know, 150 something races, I think. Yeah, and I joined Malati, the Malati family, in after my rookie season, I think. I was in one other team, but pretty soon after I was the amateur, I joined the Malati family, and then I had a pretty good run so far, and I've been promoted to Elite last season.
Fantastic. The fact that you picked Chocos this season is something that is
Yeah, you know,
that I have. Well, first of all, some context again. Joachim has promoted from Master 5 last season to Elite this season. And for his first Elite season ever, he picked Chocos. I think that you set a trend last season. Well, why the choice?
Yeah, well, actually, I like red tires, so they have to be red. Last season it was Pedrock. I couldn't afford Pedrock another season.
He picked Villagers last season too.
Actually,
Well, there are two very wild tire choices there, Joachim. You have
yeah.
a season at a weaker league, at a weaker group, weaker than Elite, I mean. You pick the strongest possible tire, and then the season after you pick what anyone could consider a weak tire, but we don't know if it is that weak anymore because after seeing you perform with it, now there are lots of questions, you know. My question is, what are you expecting to achieve? Are you expecting to retain? Are you trying to have a not so boring relegation? What's the expectation?
No. I'm trying to retain, and well, I don't really know why I picked Yoko. I mean, I have tons of reasons, but in the end, it's a subjective decision. It's something about taste and personal preference, and I was between Yokos and Continental, but as Continental have that bad warm up, and we have lots of hard overtaking tracks. I was just thinking maybe with how do you call them? Chocos? Yokos? I call them Yokos. I just have a better.
Ignore my Latin American pronunciation, please. My Argentina, please.
Argentinian, yeah, not Latin American.
Yes, I call them chocos because
Choco.
that's
trying to
how
retain
we
them.
say the Y in Argentina. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm trying to retain you show that it is possible. Now I don't near have the package of Yuk, but I got a pretty good driver at the start of this season. I was actually set for relegation on Pipis. Would be the 10th Pipi. Then I made just two.
That's the trend this season, apparently. We have
Yeah.
9 Pipis. I
Nine,
think
yeah.
that's
9
a
Pipi.
record.
I
A record besides the season when we had that strange Pipis cartel. But besides that season, I think this must be a record.
Yeah. So I was 90% sure that I would relegate, and I was okay with it. And then I made this in the first market. I just made 2 bids on 2 drivers, and I won one, but it was kind of unexpected for me. And then I had to decide in a hurry what tire to pick to retain. And yeah, I picked Yokos because I think this season we have lots of unbalanced tracks where you can perform pretty good even on a weak tire if you match the track characteristics.
So you are looking forward working hard on your car then.
Yeah.
That's good. That's
Joachim,
good news.
I think some people would be interested to know your thoughts on why you took bridge rocks last season.
Yeah.
Please.
Exactly. Yeah, that was actually also not a rational choice, but it was a fun choice. And well, I performed very well in my first master season. I could have promoted even. I was really overperforming what I assumed, and then I just realized I have so much money that I actually could afford bridge rocks. And I just made a plan for bridge rocks for fun to look. Would it be feasible? And after I realized that it would be feasible even with 3 DNFs, I thought, well, maybe I should try it. And yeah, and that was just for a fun season, and it worked out pretty well, better than expected. And hoped I got a couple of track records, and it was just.
You made a podium every race, did you not?
I know. Yeah,
that's hell of an achievement.
Yeah,
standing tall master.
Exactly. Yeah. That was the icing on the cake. I mean, that was really great. I didn't expect that because one random or one tire puncture can ruin that. But I was lucky enough, and I got it. Yeah.
And you weren't concerned about driver reputation or anything like that.
Let me put you in context. Brad is his teammate, so he knows a little bit about his history on how he got to elite. I have something to say about that too. He was regularly visiting my manager profile because he was observing my driver's reputation and how it was evolving. But I think that by the point he started checking my profile and others, of course, to see how this reputation thing worked, it was already too late for him. That driver had over 140 reputation when you dropped it on the market.
He was already spoiled in master, so I thought I will go overboard with him, and now he has such a high nose, but nobody hired him. He's done.
You ruined his career.
Yeah. It was never a driver I would keep in elite. That was the thing. I when I picked the driver in amateur, I picked a driver which would bring me to elite, and I specifically searched for a driver who would be the best for that. And but it was never a driver meant to be racing with in elite.
Right.
So it was clear that I would not extend his contract. So I didn't worry about his reputation in the last season at all.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was his call. I wanted to ask you, and Andre too, and Patrick, but Patrick left. Probably he went to the bathroom. I wanted to ask you all, how did you find out of the game? How did you find out about the existence of Shipro? And how did you join the game? Andre?
I don't even remember that. I don't even know. I think I was Googling something and it just kind of appeared in front of me. But I have no idea how I found this game. Honestly, I don't remember. Really.
Subliminal.
Pro finds you. You will find you.
Shipro finds you.
It's the absolute truth. Yeah.
What about you, Joachim?
Me?
Yes,
I actually played this game in 2011. I did 3 races. It doesn't show in my manager profile, but I had 3 races.
Yes, but it does show. But my question is, then how did you find the game?
I was playing another Formula One race manager game, one which isn't active anymore. One with
F1 Rip.
and I kind of searched for Formula One racing games at that time, and then I found G-Pro, and I think I specifically searched for it. But then it was so complicated. I decided
you
not
you already had an interest on the game type.
What?
That you already had an interest on this type of game.
Yeah. I had. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What about you, Brad?
I had a pretty strange path to G-Pro. I got into Formula One a few years ago, and because I had a lot of interest in sports simulation games, usually baseball and basketball, I had the idea of making my own Formula One simulation, like board game.
Like a board game?
Yes.
Oh my
I
God, what a geek.
Well, yes. And in fact, I literally went to boardgamegeek.com to get some ideas. And it was there that somebody had mentioned G-Pro. And I clicked the link, made an account that day, and I haven't thought about this would-be simulation since. It's funny about that.
We still want to see the board game.
Well, it never got launched. So, but what's funny about that is one of our teammates, Twig Fahaji, has a very similar story. He was doing the exact same thing, and I think he saw the same link as I did at boardgamegeek.com. So I would have assumed that I was the only one to have this idea, and yet at least one other person was thinking along the same lines.
You're not alone in this world, then.
That's right. There's a lot of nerds in this world.
That's a nerd.
Absolutely.
Patrick, how did you find out of the game?
I just was searching for something for a manager F1 game. I once played it for a short time, only a few weeks, just to check how the game is. And at first I didn't like it at all. Because I thought, what's happening here? What's this? It didn't feed the thought of F1 managing game, actually, because I had to do so much things at once. And I thought to myself, why do I need to choose a tire or to set up my own car? That's happening automatically normally. And then I got back again, and then I started digging deeper and deeper, and now I'm stuck. I'm hooked.
Yeah, there's no leaving now.
You just promoted. That's far from being stuck, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
the guests I chose for tonight are all newly promoted managers that are starting at a new tier, at a new league this season. This is your first time at Pro. This is the first time for Joachim at Elite, and this is the first time for Andrea at Amateur. Talking about your way to amateur, Andre, I was wondering, because I saw that you had an very impressive first season in the game. You got tons of podiums, tons of wins, like 16 podiums, 12 wins, 13 wins.
150 points.
155. That's really impressive. How did you manage to do that, having no experience at all in the game?
Google helped me. I Google a lot, and that's actually very honest here. Google helped me. I think I did one race, the last race of season 73. That was my first race, and I got that random driver. You know, you sit in the game and you have a driver, you have a car, and that's it. And I feel like I felt the same as was it Patrick? I'm sorry, I don't remember. I don't remember everyone's name, but I think the guy in the middle.
Patrick, yes,
the guy,
it's
Patrick,
written.
That is
it's
it.
written
Patrick.
Here. You know, you can find it.
Oh, it's just
very
so
small.
tiny. Okay,
It's
Patrick,
very tiny. Yes.
Patrick said, like he said, he couldn't understand the game, and so couldn't I. Like I was looking at at stuff and like, Jesus, how does this work? You know, and I kind of thought it was cool because I don't really like games where I actually have to do stuff while it's going. You know, I never liked the shooting games and soccer games. I never liked those kinds of things. And G-Pro is, I mean, you pretty much think about it, set things up, and just let it be. You know, you just anyway. You don't actually have to drive the car. So I thought it was interesting. So I started researching about it, and as soon as I realized I couldn't have a clue about it, I started Googling it, and then I found this great masterpiece of Brazilian work. There's actually a manual, a Brazilian manual dated from 2009. It tells you every little thing you need to know to promote. I just followed it step by step, and that's it. And I got 150 points because I had a DNS that I should have won, and I really screwed up one race that I should have won too. But that was not nothing really. It was just I just got the good tips for driver. So I just found the best driver for staff and facilities. Like don't let it fall. You know, just make sure you're gonna at least Wilson rookie. At least let it be where it is. Just don't let your facility fall. Don't lose points there.
Were
You know,
tips that you got from the Brazilian. The manual, I understand, is freely available, or you have to register to the external forum?
it's absolutely available for free. You can just download it very different places, and it's really the forum doesn't even exist anymore. There's actually some lines from Leandro Sereno. He was actually pretty much dissecting sponsors there, and I mean, the guy won like 7 lead. Anyway, it was old data, but I assume they were better than nothing, you know.
I think WhatsApp killed not only lots of activity at G-Pro Forum, but also the external places too. I used to be at different Facebook groups that were a lot more active before, and now the activity is very little.
Andre, how are you finding the financial management aspect of the game?
I actually started amateur nearly exactly with the amount of money I plan on starting amateur with 35 million. I'm not sure this is good or bad. I just thought, okay, 35 million is probably okay. It's pretty much what I got to start with, so why not? Let's just try this. And I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to plan and try to begin next season with 35. I started with 38. I think it's mission accomplished. But I made some very stupid mistakes, especially with sponsors. Even though I had this guide, I made just this huge mistake with sponsors really early on. So kind of killed my finances a bit. But my income was actually better than I was expecting because I got so many fastest laps. I was at some point I was actually going more for the fastest laps than for the wins because they were more important to me because I would just get more money, and I wasn't going high risk at all. I was going zero risk on, I don't know, 14 out of 17 races. I went zero risks. The most I used was in the last race because I thought, what the hell? It's the last race. I'm just gonna throw in some risk. Why not? And then I did 20. It wasn't even that huge, but I thought it's the last race. So what?
That would be normal for rookie.
Yeah, well, that's track depending. You have to know that CT can track depending. There are some stuff I think you still need to learn because
Of course.
your guide that you have in Brazilian won't be handling.
Yeah,
Oh.
now after I think it was this, I don't remember exactly, but I think it was after 6th race I was invited to the Viper family team, and I'm not even using this Brazilian guy thing anymore. It was just something that kind of figured the game for me for the first races really, and now I'm in a good team. It's a good team. It's supporting me a lot, and I'm finding a lot of things out, and I'm getting some very, very good advice, very good advice. But I definitely know very little from this game. I'm just learning. I'm trying to test like a lot. Like I tested a lot in rookie season, probably more than advisable for a rookie. But I thought, why not? Let's just test and anyway.
Yeah, you had a really
Some things
exceptional
up.
season. You had a really exceptional season. That's true.
Thank you.
But if you, what I want to say, I add to it. Congratulations, by the way, to all who had that promoted to a higher league. It's not common given. Okay, from rookie to amateur, maybe from amateur to pro, it's possible. But after that, it's going to be a hard way, definitely.
I'm sure you're absolutely right. I know. I mean, I started this first race 20th in amateur. I mean, I'm going to set this season. I know. So it's even amateur is gonna be hard for me probably. But I've got some planning for amateur. So I'm planning to stay in amateur for 3 seasons and promoting the 75, 6, 7, promoting the 77. And that's my plan at least. And I'm going to keep my driver.
You are going to keep your driver. That's what I was going to ask you.
I am. He's definitely expensive. I know this. He's expensive, but I'm going to keep him. I'm gonna give it a try. Maybe it's not the best thing to do, but I'm going to do it anyway.
How did you choose him?
I just look for the highest stamina I could possibly get. That's it.
Even if it's trainable, that's a curious choice. I mean, it's you will get results really fast, that's for sure. But maybe I will have prioritized other skills, other driver skills, and train the stamina myself.
Now I understand, but maybe going for the concentration was probably the advice I got. But I'm a little rebel, so I decided I was just gonna try my own thing. So I figured that stamina was actually the speed booster. So but I didn't get a guy like really low concentration or anything like that. And since it seems to have a higher impact in no way, I thought, well, maybe it might play it out for me. And my driver is very young, so he gains that concentration very slowly. So I'm not going to bother with that until probably 2 seasons from now, when I can actually boost it really, really fast. So that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, stamina is definitely about the scarcest commodity among rookie drivers. That was one of the first things I noticed when I started the game.
Yes.
Yeah, well, in the market, of course, it's the scarcest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the market is crazy. I just got seriously, it's crazy, and I just started looking for guys that had no offers at all because it's crazy. And I thought I don't want to start a war here. So
we call it market madness.
Well,
It's definitely mad.
the driver I have him since season.
No,
So I might get him on extending this season one more time if I'm retaining, or I take him with me back to amateur if needed. But after that, it's finished. He's done and dusted.
we missed the first part of what you said, Patrick, because there was some kind
I've
of
got my-
interference in
yeah.
your microphone.
I've got my driver since season 68,
Yes,
so it's a long time now, I must say.
long time. I got
Mm.
mine, I think, at season 66.
And you still have him? Wow.
I still have him, but as a matter of fact, the driver that brought me to Elite the first time, I had it for almost 15 seasons. I dropped it to the market like with 3-4 races to go to have him for a whole 15 seasons. That was a lot of time. Wanted to ask you, Patrick, about teams, because I noticed that you recently joined Volari family.
Yes.
For how long have you been exactly teamless?
Since season 68
You have been
until the start of this season.
Wow.
Not quite right, not quite honest, because I was already in the mentoring program of the new Paarhuis. And
for how long have you been in
last 2 seasons
the?
already.
How many?
2 seasons now. 2 seasons. 2 seasons.
2 seasons. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, my connection is a bit.
So you were an intern with Nuvolare before they took you to an official position.
Yeah. Yes. Correct. I was waiting to get a free spot. And in the meantime, they helped me. They gave me advice. They gave me good advice that helped me a lot, and they still do. If I have a question, help me. So,
How it is to have Dede in the team?
the Dede. Well, I can't say it on camera, but keep your behind covered when he's online.
Oh my God! Is he that terrible?
No, he's okay. We joke around with all of each other, so that's fine. We're making fun of each other.
There's lots of banter, I assume.
Yeah, well, it keeps it cool.
So Patrick, what are you going to do if you're driver? You brought a lot of money to Pro.
Again,
Brad.
Oh yeah, I was wondering what you were going to do if you're driver. I see you brought a lot of money to Pro, actually, some 90+ million.
yes. At the start, I had 110 million. I invested a little bit in the facilities and training of the staff, so got rid of a bit of money. But I was too late. That was my mistake. My driver, I hope to keep him if I retain. After that, I have to look and watch. If I can retain, I keep him. If I relegate, I start new with a new long-term driver.
Mm-hmm.
Start building up back in amateur, getting my points in here and there if needed. But back up building a driver and my staff and my car, and then go again for pro.
Mm-hmm.
And then
there's lots of people that think that the way to beat the pack is going back to amateur, and most of the veterans of the site have done it at a point or another. Me, for example, I went back to amateur recently.
For me, this season in pro is just experience. Getting experience about the league, about the group. How does it all function? How does it work with a technical director? What it what does it take for the tires? Which tires should I choose? The Yoko, Conti's, whatever tire you can choose.
Choco, not Yoko.
Yoko. I said
Choco.
Yoko.
Choco.
There's a Y in there.
But that's for me. This season is for me an experience season to learn, to watch. And if it goes wrong, I go back to amateur and start new building again. I've got nothing to lose.
It
Really.
sounds exactly like my attitude when I just first joined the game, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well,
that
just
attitude
beginning.
hasn't changed at all. You're still at the same place, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
I want to
continue to
see
be
you
like
out
me.
of pro someday, you know?
I'm happy in amateur.
But you need to go to pro, and after that you need to try something different.
Yeah.
He was in
Yeah.
pro a long time. And
I recall that. That's why I told him he needs to go beyond pro.
driver not worth keeping.
You know, sometimes you fall in love with your driver and you do irrational things.
I can understand.
Let me highlight that he had a female driver, so it was
Yes.
kind of tricky, you know. Danica.
Expensive female
It was
driver.
Danica. It
Wow,
was
you
a clone of Danica Patrick and a mix of Danica Patrick and Liv Tyler.
Yeah, you
I
said
did
Liv
that driver
Tyler, right?
that pretty. It was Liv Tyler, yes. I did that driver, so my fault. That I made your driver so hot that you couldn't let it go.
I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. She's still out there, by the way. Nobody wants her anymore, though.
It's binary code, you know, it's zeros and ones. How can you not let go zeros and ones, Brad? Come on.
Oh, Annika did a number on me.
Andre, do you have a plan for not about retaining this season, but a long-term plan? Do you already started planning how to get to elite?
I've started dreaming about how to get to elite. Planning is something else, I suppose. But kind of yes. I've planned for pro. I mean, I plan to be in pro in. I'm planning to be an amateur for 3 seasons and then pro, and actually 4 seasons in pro probably. I don't know. That's something that crossed my mind. From them on, I'm just blank, really. I'm not sure how technical directors will work, different tires and stuff like that. So, and any planning I'm going to do now, it's probably kind of pointless. But I did think about it. I did dream about that. But if you just allow me, Brad asked me about the finances stuff, and just to complete on that, my take on finances, and that's a rookie take on finances, and I know it's an important issue, and people kind of get screwed up by finances pretty commonly in this game. But my initial take on it is that it's just basic accountability. You just add and subtract. That's it. You have to balance income and expenditures. That's it. If you can balance income and expenditures, you can be fine. The trick, however, at least in my first feelings of it, is that if your income start falling behind what you have planned, then you're done. Then finances, then you'll be dried. But I don't think it's that hard in the early stages. Maybe it's a lot harder when you go up there, but in the early stages, I don't think it's that hard at all. Maybe I'm going to blow my face and be on that in amateur, and then you're just gonna laugh at me.
Amateur is a place to make lots of money.
What? Sorry?
I agree with Shahid.
Amateur is a place to make lots of money.
Yeah, but then you have to end up paying taxes, and I never like paying taxes to government, so I'm just keep them to myself.
Well, you need some for buffer if you go up in the higher classes, because if you don't do that and then you get shocked because the stuff getting more expensive at all. One part of your budget plan is also the sponsoring, and if you want to have good sponsoring, you have to do that in amateur. That's what I learned. That's where I made a mistake, because my sponsoring area is bad. It's real bad. That goes the same for your staff and your facility. If you want to build up, you need to start thinking.
Yeah,
But I actually,
go ahead, Andre.
I actually have a different financial planning from now on. I do plan on actually starting to actually get building some fat in money. I wasn't so worried about that in rookie. Maybe it was a mistake. I don't know. I'm going to find out. But I wasn't so worried about that in rookie. But I do have a plan on actually saving a lot of cash next season, not this one. Next season, if everything goes out like I'm planning, next season will be the season to build money. That's what I'm thinking.
I think it's a good approach. Say hi to Chris, who has just joined.
Hello, Chris.
Hello, Chris.
How's it going? You okay?
Hello.
Sorry I'm late.
Hello.
Right on time. Right on time.
No, everything is fine. We needed some. Oh, I think we lost Joachim.
No, Joachim is just away for a minute. I'm going off because my internet is bad. See, I'm lagging a lot, so then the best thing to do is stop the stream and not, because it's just interfering.
No, you don't have to.
Yeah, well,
I
it's
think
interfering.
it's okay, but I won't put pressure on you, Patrick, as you wish. I think it's okay.
So, Mr. Hughes,
For me,
of
it's
Screw Loose Racing.
Yes, you have to have a screwy loose to be in the team.
Yes, that's one of the more colorful team names. Yeah. What's it like over at the Loose Screws?
Oh, it's brilliant. Yeah, a bunch of guys all learning off each other.
That's what the team is supposed to be. Well, there's people at the YouTube chat asking who you are, Chris. So, would you mind introducing yourself?
Yeah, of course. I started playing the game. I can't remember what season it was. Maybe 30, 31. Got invited by a friend who just started. He'd only been in a couple of seasons, and then I joined the Hot Wheels team. I think you've met the manager of that ex-team, Alan Horsley. So he was my team leader for many seasons, teaching us all he knew. I see he's now in the dizzy heights of elite. He's doing well.
Yes, Alan has been at the streaming a couple of times already.
Yeah, very good, very good. So yeah, I had a break, had a bit of a hiatus where I got sick to death of the randoms that plagued me. I think I had 4 in one season.
That's why in your manager profile it says, I hate race ending randoms or something like that. Yes.
So
I thought it was curious.
I rage quit and didn't come back for 20 or 30 seasons, and then I thought I'd give it another go.
At the end of the day, it's just a game.
Yeah, but it's more than just a game.
It's a passion.
You spend
4 randoms in one season?
Yeah, you spend 3 or 4 seasons building up a driver, getting your money correct for your push. You do your push, and then it gets ruined by punctures and sick in helmet.
Sick in helmet. A classic.
Like 2 sick in helmet, yeah.
The best random there is.
Have you had a random already, André?
Yes, a DNS, a puncture, goddamn puncture. I was winning the race. And
a DNF?
Oh, no.
not DNS. DNF.
Sorry, DNF.
DNF.
I
like
had
the
race-ending puncture in my rookie season as well, and then again in my amateur season. But it's much better to have him back then. I assure you that.
True that.
Yeah, definitely. I like the fact that if you get a technical problem now, that there is an ability to go to the pits and fix it. That's helped my mood a lot.
Do you think you're going to experience a whole lot of change going to Master for the first time compared to Pro?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm not expecting to set the place on fire this season. I'm just going to learn.
Yeah.
I think
you don't have a whole lot of cash, I see.
I think
No,
you're
exactly,
really
yeah.
being a little over dramatic about going to Master, Chris. You have back to Pro in between your name.
Yeah, I misjudged how much money I'd actually need in Pro to promote. I was expecting to have about 55, and I ended up with 23. So, and I had to spend most of that in Market Madness. I know you've been talking about that already. So I'm down to 11 or 12 million now. It's just not going to be enough. But I will try. I'm going to try.
Well, I wouldn't say that's exactly how it works. You can start the season with not so much money, but if you have some good sponsorships lined up to put on your car when needed, then if your balance is not that high, it's not that important.
Yeah, you have 2 sponsors right now. Are you adding any more soon?
Yeah, I've got a big one at 95%, and another one that's building, and then a low one that's going to take a season or two, and then obviously I'll start new ones as they drop off. I did do really well with the sponsors last season because of the results. I was unlucky to not complete that last one just before I promoted. But me and Tiano Chen in Pro 7, he was actually in the line for promotion and he decided not to. We had a chat and we decided that he didn't want to promote and I was keen on promoting. So we kind of swapped some results and discussed tactics and things so that I could actually get the 4th spot. So that was nice. Good bit of gamesmanship.
That was going to be a question I would ask if you didn't bring it up yourself because, well, I had to say that when you are in a group with Joan Centellas in it, it's highly likely that he's not promoting. He does sometimes. It's not that, but it's highly likely that he chooses to relegate with negative balance. So,
yeah,
but
it did come up in the group very early on.
It looked like you pushed the last races, so it was apparent that you purposely promoted that you wanted to. Did you want to promote at the beginning of the season?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So I had a plan, and it was a very good plan up until it was a rubbish plan. So yeah, it was about halfway through the season. I realised that I'd misjudged. We all know this is a financial planning game, masquerading as a Formula One simulator, and I'd made a slight misjudgment, and I knew I was going to have a hard time. But we spoke about it in the team, and I think it's beneficial, even if I go up and I fail miserably and I go straight back down again. It's worth having the experience. So that's what I'm here for.
Especially when that experience can be useful to your teammates.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. They had a selfish reason for making me ruin my entire career, so it's fine.
They want you to suffer.
They're temporary ruin.
Absolutely. And of course, I might still surprise everyone. Market Madness has killed me, as I said. So I've now got a driver for, I think, 6 races, paying over the odds, and it's not very good. So I'm just going to keep an eye out for new drivers, get the right one, and it could all change. I've got some testing points due to come in soon. I'm running on lower level parts than I should be. So it can all change by race 7. We'll see.
Yeah, race 7 is a big one. That's Avis, right?
Oh, you're planning a push on Avis.
I've got this driver that I've got is a favourite track around race 8, I think. So I need to make a decision at race 6 whether or not I'm going to extend him for a few more races and just try for some points with him or not.
Well, I think that you should try to build some motivation for the driver, maybe, so you can have a better quality for Avis. I don't know if switching the driver is the best idea unless you find a jewel in the market with a favorite track and it's just right. But I don't know how many drivers you can find in the middle of the season and master. I honestly haven't checked the markets in a while because I'm building a driver myself.
Now, I always found that getting a driver during the season was, in the leagues that I've been in previously, the rookie, amateur and pro, was always much easier than getting one in the first 2 or 3 races. And I'm just hoping that master follows suit. You guys can tell me.
The good ones are gone in the middle of the season. It's easier to get one, but the good ones are already signed.
Yes, that's the point. I believe that you will have at the maybe at the end of the season, when people realize that they had a plan and it didn't work out, sometimes they pick a new driver and drop a driver that can be good for others.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
The retention points, you can pick a driver who is slightly behind, but on which you can build up. So that's also a possibility.
Oh, good. Yeah.
That's another one too. Oh, I don't know how Avis is going to be. I won't be very strong that race, so you won't need to worry too much about me.
Yeah, it's an interesting season, isn't it? I mean, Davis and Baumgarten in directly behind, directly each other. That's pretty insane PHA matching challenge.
And the testing track is quite heavy on the wings this season, so that's going to limit some people.
It is. On the other hand, it's very light on the engine.
Yes,
yeah.
I much prefer a testing track that is harsh on the wings than harsh on the engine. We had a few seasons ago a track that had some parts had like over 20% wear, 20-21, depending of course on what level part you were running and your driver and such. But I happened not to be in a very high league back then, so I had higher wear than an elite, for example, and I was having like 20-21% wear. That was insane.
Is it raining?
Is it raining?
Is it?
Oh, that might be interesting.
That's
oh my goodness! It is
I
raining.
set to stay out on dries just in case. Let's see if anyone else has.
We haven't even got to the elite race or the battle that we're going to have between Roland and Jan this season.
Yeah, it's interesting again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, raining.
Not to mention Christos,
Exactly.
I guess. And why is Lee Harding on Bridge Rocks? That's I would love for Flo to answer that one.
That's wild. I think that he got brainwashed by Roland.
Brainwashed?
Brainwashed, yes.
This guy's dirty. This Roland guy.
He's been overtaken.
What's going on this race? Yeah, what's going on? Someone explain to me. I can't really see properly.
Let's see.
Well, the problem is that the guys that have been overtaken by him and he lapped them.
He's a lap ahead, right?
They have a right track, you know.
It's
So
the
Roland,
well-known GPRO time-traveling weather.
yes, time traveling well, exactly. So Roland is basically in the future, doing his laps in the wet, while
Yeah.
the others are doing the laps in the dry. Well,
Yeah, that's caught me out
I
before
was
now.
I was in a one-stopper strategy, so this basically ruins my strategy. But well,
I just
I'm happy.
realized
I'm
I,
happy.
the race is over for me.
The leaders are in the pits.
the leaders are in the pits.
When it's gonna get dry again, I will fuel 10 liters till the end of it.
I'd like it to be dry in
Oh
about
my God.
5 or 6 laps. That'd be perfect.
If I'm not mistaken, this will prove to be the first time we've had rain with this forecast.
Probably.
10
Yes,
to
it was like a
20%.
10 to 20%. Yes.
Nothing.
We had last season or the season before, there was a race that it had 15 to 25%, and it rained for over half the race. It was a ridiculous forecast. I can't even remember which track it was, but yeah, it froze everybody's strategy out.
That's harsh.
No, you have harsh.
I just beat. I need to beat again. Why?
Oh, you're doing a double pit? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, like with 2 or 3 laps difference, you know. I beat at lap 30, and
Yeah.
now I will need to beat again at lap 34, I think, because of the rain. But worst part is that the guys on barriers and on Contis will probably be overcutting, and due to the overcut, they won't need to pit twice. I'm jealous.
Them's the breaks. Everyone's quiet now. They're just interested to see how their pits work out.
I'm gonna mute my care. My dogs are about to go crazy.
How my pits work.
No one's going to beat me. My pit stop is going to be like 40 seconds. So
Yes, amateur and rookie have that. Well, you can set to wait for 1 lap. If you...
yeah, but I didn't do this. I didn't think it was going to rain at all. So I just left it the way it was, and it was wrong anyway. So, well, that's it.
Any percentage, anything over
rain.
5%, and I take account of the weather. It's just GPRO is too mean. It will throw some rain at you.
It will never rain if you expect it to rain. But if you don't expect it to rain, it will always rain.
Correct.
I think it's like that.
And if there is, as Flo found out, if there is a 2 or 3 laps where you might be screwed by the rain, it will start within those 2 or 3 laps and cause you to have an extra pit.
It's Murphy law. Yes. That's definitely.
Okay, right. In my race, everyone is now pitting and I am not. So I'm going to gain rapidly, and then I've got to cross my fingers for the rain to stop like I expect.
Your race is my race. Where are you?
33.
33. Oh, fantastic. That's amazing.
29 now.
23rd, yes. It started raining.
I prefer. How does everyone feel about these random rain races? I quite like them because it adds a little bit of fun to it, but a lot of people don't.
Well, better than sending randoms for sure.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Well, I don't like them that much because I tend to overthink things and play in my head 30 different strategies, and that takes so much time. Oh, I have an echo, right?
Yes.
No, wait.
You could use headphones or otherwise try to turn the volume a bit down.
Hello, I'm back.
Yes, the matter is that he will need to set his microphone and headphones.
I've switched to headphones now. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Over here.
Yeah, all
Can you
good.
hear us? Can you hear us?
Yes.
Cool. It worked fine then.
I've locked my dogs in the other room, so they can't interrupt.
Smart idea. Smart idea. My dogs won't do that.
I had a problem. I recently did an interview with Enrique Hughes, who promoted to elite this season. He's Argentinian. Well, he's not Argentinian. That's my bad. He's Brazilian, but he lives in Argentina. And I had to do it, not leave, because he wasn't available at race time. So we pre-recorded the interview. And you have the the dog barking and coughing there, and I had my cat jumping on top of it, of that table that is there, and this wasn't low enough to hide it, so everyone met my pussy during that interview.
What a treat.
Yeah, everyone in
It
my
happens.
group chat is equally confused by the weather. No one expected rain.
It should be dry again soon because that period is 0%.
Yeah, it's nearly up, isn't it?
It would have been a good idea maybe even to stay out on dries.
We'll see. Would have helped if I was slightly higher up the field to begin with.
Chris, is that a beer you're drinking?
Scotch.
Yes, it is.
Oh, scotch. Very good.
Oh,
I forgot to mention that Joachim is so German. He does not accept fruit in his beer.
Yeah, we have the Reinheitsgebot. A beer is a beer. There's nothing in except water, Hopfen, and I don't know the English.
Is that why your beer is so boring?
Supported.
Yeah, exactly.
Shots fired.
it's fine. That's why your beer is so boring.
We still have over 1,000 different beer.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no fancy stuff. I mean, there's fancy stuff, but it isn't sold as beer. It is sold as
It's strong though, isn't it, German beer? It's stronger than the English water that we have.
It might be. It's about 5% or so alcohol. It's not bad, but it's it's a traditional beer. It's no fancy stuff. Brad always picks a new beer each evening and discusses with the team.
I know. Well,
It's an important nightly
noticed-
ritual.
I noticed that the reference about the beer picking time at the Malati recruitment topic.
Right.
Yeah.
For those who are considering in the future, because you have already picked your new teammates, but for those who are considering applying to Malati in the future, it's 100% true. He does pick his beer at around 3 CET. I've been there. I know it.
That's why I like Western Hemisphere recruits, but they're harder to find.
They're harder to find. That's true.
Yeah, we got Casper and Voter from South Africa. Casper's from Denmark.
Oh, Chris, you joined a little bit later, so you missed the question about how you found out of the game. the first time, of course. We already heard that you retired and came back.
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah.
How did you find out of Shipro the first time you joined?
So I was playing a different game. What was it called? Hat Trick.
Hat Trick, yes.
Yeah. Football
I don't know,
Manager
does
1.
it exist?
It's still there. Yeah, still there.
Oh.
I did my normal trick of rage quitting that as well. It's a bit of a pattern. No, they just weren't evolving. So it was the same game after several years with no real changes that made it better. So it just got boring and stagnant. So I left. But while I was doing that, I met a few guys, and then they started playing Bat Trick, a cricket version. And that was beyond boring. That was the most boring game in the world. But that led on to, there's this really exciting Formula One game. So I gave it a go, and it was fun. It's good. I like stats. I like numbers. So it appealed to me to try and figure out what was going on. I think I did a season with no team. I didn't even realize teams existed. I didn't realize the forums existed. I was just logging on and typing in numbers and seeing what happened. And then, I joined Hot Wheels with Alan and started using more than 3 CTR, and it was a massive improvement.
Well, it depends on the driver you have. Andre earlier today was saying that he could succeed with 0 clear track. So
Absolutely, with the correct, I think it was a tool he used, isn't it? But with the correct tool or with the correct mentoring, we all know the skill that's that important at rookie, and we all know the skill that people pick when they first join because they don't know any better, and they're exact opposites of what you need. So you get the right driver with the right level of skill, and you can 0 CTR your way all the way to promotion.
that's a way.
What skill is that?
It's reputation. Reputation. Got to have 200 reputation.
Reputation.
Oh, thank you.
Shocking.
André,
What
you
do you
look-
think about reputation?
Yeah, reputation, exactly. I saw the more reputable the driver, the better, of course.
The faster he goes, yeah.
I never thought of that. I would have never hired a driver by reputation, but now you say it makes quite sense. It makes sense because you
helps-
think
it-
that
it-
the
it helps
driver
with
with a better
overtaking, by the
reputation is the
way.
best driver.
It helps with overtaking, by the way. Everyone says, "Oh, this important driver is coming. I better make way."
Yeah, and
No,
this
okay.
driver has a reputation
out of the
to
way.
uphold.
If Hamilton
But-
closes on you.
The best part of the market madness is when you have an 85 away Michael Schumacher.
Yeah, exactly. People bid on it.
That is
Like crazy.
insane, completely insane.
25 bids.
But he needs to be 85, because most newbies ignore drivers that are under 85 away, except for
Yeah.
Andre went for less.
I did. I went for less. I didn't even look at the OA. I think it was 79 OA when I started the season. I don't remember for sure, but OA was the last thing I was looking for, really. Especially because every driver with 85 OA in the start of a rookie season has like 20 offers on him, and he's worth 2 million. So I didn't see a point in that. Not that my driver is actually cheap. He's not cheap at all. But I did manage to offer him less than he was asking for, really. So that's a clue for the rookies.
That's a good tip for newbies, that they
You
can
don't have to
actually
pay the guy
hire
what
the
he's.
driver.
Yeah, you don't have to
for
pay
less
what
than
he's
that.
asking.
Well, now are we already inside the hour?
Yeah. It'll stop. Oh, it stopped. It stopped already, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
No. Yes.
Yes, lap 42 is dry.
Yep.
So for a moment I was really scared because I put in 10 liters of fuel in my third pit stop, which I thought I wouldn't have. But
Oh.
then I realized fuel is not taken out of the tank, so I will still finish the race.
Oh, team, that's a bad lesson
Oh,
for you.
yeah, I mean, really, really bad. Yeah, but I had a headache yesterday and today, so I was not quite up to
This
that.
And you have children.
shower killed my
Yes.
race. Really killed it. There are two guys that are on slicks that are going to take my place.
They did not pit at all,
They did not pit. No, they stayed on slicks during the rain.
which was a smart move, I think, right?
It was, or a very careless one. We don't
Yeah.
know. Let's assume that they were smart and they did it on purpose.
It's just a gamble.
It's a gamble. Yeah.
Yep.
They just
Yeah,
with
but-
luck, that's it.
You will still finish third, Flo, right? You
Some
should.
gambles are more well thought out than others.
Yeah.
You are going for promotion this season, Flo, right? Aren't
Me?
you? Yeah.
Let's say I am. Yes.
There's no way to hide it.
No, it's that I am undecided. I am more in a moment that I think, well, I will push every race. If that gets me promoted, it gets me promoted. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
You cannot be undecided. The G Pro needs Florencia Caro in elite. Period.
I'm pretty sure it'll be enough
well,
if she pushes every race.
If I were more serious about promoting, I would probably needed to pick a different tire. I went with Yokos because
Chocos.
I went with Yoko because I thought that we had a very nice cartel of Chocos in Master 4. So why overspend? That was my thought. But if I wanted to be more serious about promotion, I should have picked a stronger tire that wouldn't let others outscore me in different kinds of races. Of course, this race it has a nice weather for Chocos.
But if you are consistent,
not every try, not every race, I will have a good performance.
But if you are consistent, you have not too bad chances on Chocos. In my last season in my group, Alexei Malkan was on Chocos, and I was on Breadrock. We had two Hancocks, lots of bad years, and he could have promoted. He decided in the end not to, but he had strong pace and was always in the point, and was doing well.
Yes, well, we at Master 4 had Klaus Britzer, who was on his first season at Master at this. He started overperforming in lots of races. You can see him that this one race he had a very good quality, but he's actually trying to resign a driver to push next season. I was surprised when I noticed that his driver's OA went down dramatically during the last races of last season, because I thought he was going to stay only for 2 seasons at Master 4, but my bad, he's trying to retain again. He will need to be careful, because if he tries to do his best every race, he will end up promoted probably.
And you have a Breadrock in your group, haven't you?
Oh, we have Richard. Yes, that's a guy that failed to relegate due to negative money last season.
This season he will not fail.
Yes, he had some sort of rage quit. He said he posted at the at the group forum. He said, "Well, I'm going to relegate you to negative balance, to leave the spot at master for someone else. Good luck, everyone. See you soon. I'm retiring. Blah 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 blah." And suddenly, after the reset, he was still at master 4 because he ended the season with like 2.4 millions or something like that. So his negative balance was not enough. He retained, so now he's going bananas with bridge rods to have some fun, I guess. What I am sure about is how many races is he's going to start, because he has 3 million in the bank, and that's not good.
Yeah. It's
he will have serious problems updating his car at some point, not so far point. So I'm sure he won't be starting all races this season.
I've got more than 3 million.
yeah, but not a tire which costs you 8.5 million per
8.5,
race.
yeah.
8.5.
Yes, he.
If you have a DNF on bridge rocks, it's really hurting you.
Yeah.
I have actually had a DNF or two. I can't recall exactly how many, but it's sad when you start the race with a certain money and you end the race with the same money.
Yeah.
I broke even from that race. It was
It's
hard
nothing.
because you're expecting, I don't know, maybe 12, 13 million, depending on how your sponsors look, and or 50 million maybe, and suddenly you have nothing.
Financial planning game masquerading as a Formula One simulator.
Well, that reminds me that one old chat I had with Vlad years and years ago, that I told him that I found the game similar to a business simulator. Because
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
at uni I had played a few. We had some practical subjects that we took, and one of them including playing business simulators. It was fun. We really didn't learn much from that because in real life markets behave in a different way. The human factor is huge, and when you have an algorithm influencing the results and nothing else, it's completely different. The good thing about GPro, in my opinion, is that you not only have all the algorithms that influence your tire, fuel, race pace, and such, but you also have all the human factor around. You have 39 other players playing along with you and making decisions that will end up affecting your race result too. Otherwise, it will be really boring, I think.
So in Elite, it looks again like a post-Levelske battle with Bobolis closely following.
Indeed, I honestly wasn't following Elite Race because I was too concerned about
Oh my!
my race because of the
Right.
shower, you know.
Yeah, all the bridge rocks are crowded at the top.
Exactly, 3 bridge rocks at the top. I mean,
With
5.
separating a couple of them.
Yeah, but from pace, it looks like Roland and Jan are pushing for the championship.
No doubt.
I would say that having picked bridge rocks, Christos is too.
Yes, it looks like.
He might not be the strongest this one race, but that doesn't mean that he won't be strong in next races. We are still to see.
A 3-way battle would be fun to watch. If we can actually live up to that.
Well, we haven't had a 3-way battle in a long while, so it would be entertaining to watch, I guess.
Yeah, the game almost discourages long-term battles in Elite.
What do you mean by long-term battles?
I mean, just as soon as someone enters some kind of adversity, like Jan's random last season, there's the tendency to want to drop out in order to save your finances and such.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Well, that's because of what I mentioned some minutes ago about you breaking even with DNF on bridge rocks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If one bad race means that you are not getting an income flow around 15 million, that's 15 million less at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing. Second, you have problems with your sponsors, even when admins introduce some factor to make it lighter when you have a random, so the sponsors don't complain too much. You still don't have the progress. You might have a signed sponsor that isn't complaining too much after a random, but if you were going to get, I don't know, 12, 13% progress on one sponsor and you suddenly got 1-2% because you didn't finish the race, that's a lot too, especially because the sponsors at Elite are always contested. It's not the same that when you're at amateur that you can find uncontested sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
Elite Battle of the People.
Battle of the Pippin.
That's a good phrase. We should. The guys at Elite, they are 9 on Peoples this season. They should start at the topic, at the Elite topic, some kind of silly game where they make a standing stable with only the Pipis guys, and they should give a prize to the Pipis championship winner at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Would be an interesting thing to do. Well, if I were in that position of being in Pipis, which I'm probably going to be next season, maybe.
No,
I would do it.
you're not allowed to take Pippies in Elite.
Don't dare me, Marshall. Don't dare me.
Yeah, but the 9 Pippis, which are in Elite, kind of justify me trying to sign a driver to retain with, because this season it's a lot less competition for them.
It'll be interesting. On the other hand, you have less people competing for points.
And maybe with the 9th you can retain. Would be great. It's
we still need you to try that,
yeah, you should volunteer.
Why don't you try to retain on Pipis? This season would have been great for that, because having already 9 Pipis, are not going to put up much fight.
I mean, he would have last season. I mean, he would have probably scored points in Indy Oval anyway on Pipis.
Yeah.
It's
and
like,
Avis, with Avis on the calendar this season, that's even more distorted than Indy.
It's possible. It's totally possible. Yeah.
It's doable.
But I'm not sure whether any of the Pippi managers is trying to retain. I don't think so. How is your race going, Andre? Your first amateur race? Near the points?
It's actually going pretty good. No, I'm 14th. It's decent, I would say.
It's decent.
I had absolutely no expectations for this race, so 14th place so far seems good. I'm actually, I thought I was gonna be 20th, 19th, something like that, but no, it's actually pretty good. I have a decent pace.
Yeah. You'll see amateur is a really nice place to be.
I can only imagine.
You'll learn to
I'm not
love
sure
it.
why I don't like the
If you don't like paying taxes, you should get out as amateur as soon as possible, of course. But otherwise, it's really a nice place.
But I'm not sure why you don't like the pippies. I love the pippies. You should trust me. Just get
Yeah.
I always pick them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really interesting. If you enter pro and for the first time you have different tires, and it takes some time to get a feel for it. I mean,
Yeah, they actually cost something.
yeah, they cost something, exactly.
I mean, the pippies are pennies.
And the weather, suddenly the weather really matters. I mean, with everyone on pippies, it's 6 degrees or 40 degrees, it doesn't matter. But the weather really matters. And in Master, you really start to realize, okay, this race is not for me because the temps are not right. And in Elite, it's basically, you cannot score if the temps are not right. Yeah.
Does anyone else predict the season and come up with an average degrees temperature for the forecast and then plan your tyre choice around that, or is that just me?
No, that's pointless. I mean, it's random, I think.
Andre,
I feel it gives me something.
we have Claudio Laguna asking where you live, where you are now.
Hello, Claudio. I live in Florianopolis, south of Brazil. It's an island, a very beautiful island. There's like a lot of beaches and stuff. It's the best place to be living in the world, actually.
I want to go again because I've been there 3 times already.
Flo knows it. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yes, I've been
Best
to
town, the best city there is.
It's a very nice island. As he said, it has lots of beaches, and it's very close to the continent. So you have a side of the island with beaches that are like swimming pools because there's no currents, no marine currents reaching that side of the island. And on the other side of the island, you have the ocean, the open ocean. So you have more waves, surfers, like that part of the island.
There's the champion, the Italo Ferreira, the surfing champion, current surfing champion, he actually practices in Florianopolis.
Playa Brava?
He obviously travels a lot, but I'm not sure which beach specifically. But there's a lot. There's Joaquina. There's
Joaquina.
there's Rio Vermelho, Red River. There's many, and there's the nearby towns like Bombinhas, Itapema. There's a lot, really. It's a wonderful place, really. And there's the calm waters too for those that doesn't like the waves, like myself. I hate waves, so I like the swimming pools stuff, and there are those too.
That side of the island is better, I believe. The swimming pool side.
And the water is warmer.
The water is warmer, yes. There's almost no wind.
But
It sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's like every island. Weather is really weird. It's weirder than Gipro probably. It's really, you can have like summer, winter, rain, sun, and all in the same day. Really, but it's cool. I like it.
It's the other way around, Peterson. You always ask me what tires I'm going to pick.
And then he picks the same.
No, I think that he's right that this one time he picked earlier. But I'm a late picker in general. You know, it's not that I'm waiting each day to check what he's going to pick.
Well, we know you're going to pick Pips next season, so it's all right.
I don't accept that.
You have a nice driver, Flo. It's no reason to pick Pippies next season.
it's a very nice driver. The problem is the rest of the package, including the manager.
Including the manager.
You know what your job is, Flo. You have to.
You point out that the driver is great. Yes, they have a great driver, but the rest of the package is not quite right.
You're supposed to train your driver for Roland to take to a championship. That's how it works at Jaguar.
That's why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yes.
No, that never works that way. If you let a driver go on the market, it will go to the one who pays the most.
Yeah.
It's not that you can transfer a driver to a teammate. Well, I remember a couple of times that many seasons ago that our teammate Andreas was trying to lower driver's salary by hiring it with a discount and then dropping it to the market, hiring it again with a discount, and so on. And those strategies hardly work. You always end up with someone noticing the driver and taking it.
Typing it.
You have tried that, Joachim?
No. But I've seen it.
Seen it.
I've seen it. Others do it, and I think Brad tried it once.
Yeah. That one backfired, but it actually ended up working out.
Maybe for the best.
I specifically was doing that. I was trying to take advantage of those little market distortions. What happens when you allow the driver to go to the market, and because of that, it made the driver much more attractive than he was without allowing him to go to the market. And then I lost him, but I'm more satisfied with my current driver anyway. It just meant basically delaying me a full season.
This reminds me of I don't know how many months ago was that I was having a casual chat with Brad. And, oh, hello. How are you, Brad? Oh, I'm fine. How about your driver? Well, this is the third one I hired for races or something like that. It was insane.
Yeah, it was crazy there for a little while, and then actually I tried to change drivers again because there was on the market there was this beautiful driver who was like exactly the same as mine but with more concentration or something, but I didn't get him. So
oh, you didn't get him? Well,
no, I didn't. So that officially stopped the flow.
I say that's actually good for you,
Yeah, I was starting to take to the driver market like a drug.
A really bad drug.
Yes.
So, Flo, do you think you can stick to your podium place?
I don't know.
Have you something for the last 3 laps? Have you left?
Oh, I'm boosting, so maybe I can.
It looks like our live stream feed is a little delayed.
Yeah, is it already?
The race is finished, yes.
Yeah. Elite is finished.
Elite is finished.
So every race is finished.
Right.
Technically, yes, but the broadcast is not finished. But there we have the podium.
Yeah.
That's an interesting noise.
Yeah.
I didn't realize Christos got ahead of Jan.
Christos got ahead of Jan? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Indeed. So what happened? He ran out of energy or what? Oh.
I didn't catch it. I don't know if he had another pit or what.
Yeah, I think he must have.
Yes.
Oh, no, he ran out of energy, no?
Okay.
Badly. Yeah.
No, I lost my place to class.
Really? Oh.
On the last lap. That's too bad. Well, the guy that is trying to to resign his driver beat me. That's too bad. Oh, whose race has already finished?
Mine's just finished now. 32. 32, which isn't as bad as I thought it would be. I'm not the last person on Yoko's, so I'm happy.
Andrew, you stayed 14th?
Sorry?
Andrew, where did you finish, or is your race not
No,
finished
it's not.
yet?
It's not finished. I'm not sorry. I'm not sure. I have a lag or something, but it's lap 55th, 55th, whatever. It's
And still,
I'm still 14th. I think I have a chance at finishing 13th, but I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think it's gonna be pretty much it if I don't have a puncture or anything like that in the last laps.
Oh,
That sounds good enough. No,
It is.
so who's in elite at the moment? Brad, you're in elite, aren't you?
Me?
I just want to know what risks people use in elite.
Zeros.
Is
Always
it a
zeros.
case that everyone uses 80, 90 risks, or is it the same as every other structured race?
you use as much as your driver can
Yeah.
take it. Energy-wise, it's different from track to track and from driver to driver. But it's basically, if you are trying to get a result, it's way beyond 50, of course. But it's not always 100. You cannot sustain it.
No, I would say that most tracks you cannot do 100, not even an elite. Most
Yeah.
tracks.
Or if you are pushing for the championship, I think you're gonna spar each race, but otherwise you are still trying to find the best balance. But you're not racing with 2030 except you are just cruising.
But what Flo is saying is even when you do that, you can't normally use 100 CT or from energy purposes.
I would say you cannot. Most races you cannot do 100,
Yeah.
even when you have 100 energy.
Yeah, energy was something that came in while I was on my sabbatical. So I came in and there was this new skill called energy, and I had no idea what it did. So yeah, I see it. It almost did away with the one big push strategy, which was interesting.
Yeah, that was a long sabbatical you had. Season 49 through 67.
Yes, it was.
I always wonder, what do these people do with their lives when they're not playing defense?
They keep playing silly games.
Right.
No, it took me that long to get over the rage quit.
Wow.
I was very angry.
Guys, are you finding we finish the streaming here?
Sure.
Cool. Yeah.
Given that the race is already over, I think it will be a good time.
Did we find out on Andre? How did you get on, mate?
Well, what about
13th. Yes.
Very good.
It's a good result.
Thank you. That's good. That's cool.
What about your expectations? Did you expect something like that, or were you expecting more or less?
I was expecting nothing really. I was when I got to amateur, I thought maybe I can get close to top 10, maybe. But then I saw the qualifying, and I thought, okay, this is definitely not gonna happen. I'm not gonna be in the top 10. So I was just blank. When I qualified, and I thought I qualified pretty well, and I was still 20th. So I thought, okay, maybe I'm gonna finish like 20th anyway. So my expectations were really, I had zero, but it played out pretty fine. It's more
it's a
than
good
I was
result.
expecting. I just hope I can finish my sponsor. I have a sponsor like with 94%. I just hope it's enough. I don't think it will be, but maybe it is. I don't know. I'm just hoping at this point.
Hopefully it is.
What?
You'll find out.
Hopefully it is. It
You'll
is
find
enough.
out soon enough.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for the information. I was thinking if I should fish some more information from you. I'm trying not to, but I was keeping a close ear. Like so there's this skill driver has that allows him to will allow me to use higher risks, and his energy will not go so low.
Yeah, reputation.
That's precisely the skill I was thinking. Thank you for the thanks for the answer. I could think of one obvious one, but it's just a guess at this point. So
I would say there's more than one.
Are we covered by the rules of Phobie in this private
Yes,
off
we are.
GPR?
absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I'm afraid so. But Andre, energy is not a concern in amateur and not even in pro. It's a concern in master. You should just use the risk which your driver can handle without worrying. He get better by himself, by the way.
Okay.
It's very good advice.
Thank you for the tips. Yeah.
Now we are actually finishing the streaming, guys. Very happy to see that you had a good race, Andre. Very, very glad that we had also, of course, Chris, Patrick, that needed to leave early because of the technical problems. Joachim, Brad, Andre, Chris.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you all for
Good chat,
being
everyone.
Thanks for
Yeah,
the stream.
thanks everyone. It was
And
really good.
Bye.
Have a good
Cheers,
night.
guys. See you again soon.